Looks like we're going way back for this one. What's up, guys? GeorgeTheCloud here. My name is Jorge, aka George. Welcome to the channel and welcome to my life. Per Little Lion's request, we are checking out Marty Robbins, Big Iron audio. Thank you so much for your donation. For Grandpa. Okay. Well, this definitely looks like it's a Grandpa era because from the type here, the guy with the gun, is this supposed to be like a sheriff or something like that? This is like what, 50s, late 50s, early 60s? Like as soon as they invented color in television, this probably came out. I've never heard of this person before, so I'm gonna have to do some quick research here on the fly. Martin David Robinson, known professionally as Marty Robbins, was an American country and western singer and songwriter. He was one of the most popular and successful singers of his genre for most of his nearly 4-decade career, which spanned from the late 1940s to the early 1980s. Wow. Oh man, died so young. Are you serious? 57. He could have kept going. 4-decade career, and he died at 57. Imagine if he lived, if he was alive today. He may be still going. He would have been 100 today, or almost 100. Okay. Well, yeah, it's gonna be my first time reaction to Martin. Okay, I definitely do get, old country western vibes from this imagery here. Let's see. So Marty, now I have Martin in my head. Marty Robbins' Big Iron, off of Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs, as featured in Followed New Vegas. So maybe that was featured in a song. I mean in a song, in a movie or something like that. Anyway, we're gonna check this out. Grab some popcorn, fill up your water, put your headphones on. Let's go. Ah.
To the town of our free rode a stranger one fine day. Hardly spoke to folks around him, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. The stranger there among them had a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was early in the morning when he rode into the town. He came riding from the south side, slowly looking all around. He's an outlaw, loose and running, came the whisper from each lip, and he's here to do some business with a big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. In this town there lived an outlaw by the name of Texas Red. Many men had tried to take him, and that many men were dead. He was vicious and a killer, though a youth of 24, and the notches on his pistol numbered 1 in 19 more, 1 in 19 more. Now the stranger started talking, made it plain to folks around. Was an Arizona Ranger, wouldn't be too long in town. He came here to take an outlaw back alive or maybe dead, and he said it didn't matter, he was after Texas Red, after Texas Red. Wasn't long before the story was relayed to Texas Red. But the outlaw didn't worry, men that tried before were dead. 20 men had tried to take him, 20 men had made a slip. 21 would be the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. The morning passed so quickly, it was time for them to meet. It was 20 past 11 when they walked out in the street. Folks were watching from the windows, everybody held their breath. They knew this handsome ranger was about to meet his death, about to meet his death. There was 40 feet between them when they stopped to make their play. And the swiftness of the ranger is still talked about today. Texas red, not cleared leather, for a bullet fairly ripped. And the ranger's aim was deadly with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. It was over in a moment and the folks had gathered round. There before them lay the body of the outlaw on the ground. Oh, he might have went on living, but he made one fatal slip when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip. Big iron, big iron, when he tried to match the ranger with the big iron on his hip, big iron on his hip.
What a vivid story. I could picture, and it's so clear too. I mean, that's something to hear music from like what 60 years ago, and his voice is so clear, the way people used to talk, and pronunciation was made so that you could understand. I feel like language itself has maybe kind of gotten worse, degraded over the decades. Now I'm sounding not like an old man myself, but first things first, we hit the like. I subscribe to Marty Robbins Vivo, and I'll have a link of the original video down in the description below. What year did this song come out? First of all, I'm gonna guess 1956, but I could be wrong. Release date. 1959. Okay. Yeah, I figured around that time period. I really enjoy listening to singers from the 50s, from the 60s, because I just said it. It was so clear, so easy to understand, especially if you're not a native English speaker, right? And what came to mind were some other singers that I used to listen to while I was younger, actually because of my grandfather. I mean, he's still alive, he's still with us, but he used to literally put like when those, it was like a stereo, I don't even know what that thing was, but you could it was like a player. It was like one of those machines that was really old. I think this machine was from like the 80s or something like that, and it had all sorts of buttons and things going on. It was like a large cube, and you could put discs into it and whatever cassettes, whatever format for audio that you would have. And he would play Engelbert Humperdinck, and I really enjoy his voice. And also I was thinking about like Johnny Mathis, Tom Jones. Those are very manly voices that were very like, they sounded super confident, and they would demand your attention, and that you would listen to them. It's just, I kind of wish I had that voice. I mean, who wouldn't? But anyway, yeah, the storytelling here, I closed my eyes for most of it because this is just the audio, and I felt like I was living in that time period, an old Western, and these two guys were about to face off in a proper duel of the desert. And I could picture like saloons, cowboys, like people gathering around, moonshine and everything associated with this kind of, it's kind of stereotypical, but you get the idea. And so I guess this new guy decided to come into town, this outlaw, and he thought that he would be better than than Big Iron, right? And met his maker. Apparently, he was no match for Big Iron, and I get now that it's like Big Iron, aka a Glock, a firearm, a pistol, and yeah, it was such a like quick way to tell the story as well because of the strumming on the guitar. It was like back then it was like really quick. It was like you feel like you're on a saddle, like you're riding. And it also made it seem like it was so normal, like this story of a guy dying. A man has died, due to a bullet, and it's like, yep, that's the song. Is like it's a regular Tuesday afternoon for people, at that place. So something about the music and the way he was singing it, that it was, like I said, it's almost like a bedtime story. Like they were accustomed to that. It was something normal that you would see. But yeah, anyway, I really enjoyed, like I said, his voice and the fact that this is really different from what I'm used to listening to, especially nowadays, right? In the current era, I get a lot of requests for K-pop and Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran and all these popular artists, but nothing like this. And I would really like to react to more from back in the day. That could be 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, of course. But yeah, it's refreshing to listen to a voice like this. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hit the like, subscribe, and at the end, do a flip. Till the next.